All right, this video is going to be very short. I just want to spread awareness to anybody out there who has a child who has an IEP plan, okay? If your child has an IEP plan, and I'm doing this because the school system is not going to tell you this. It is designed to keep you stuck. All right, it's designed to keep your kids stuck. Okay, they do not want y'all to know this, but I am going to tell y'all, not only because they have retaliated and discriminated against me, but because I believe in, people getting what they are entitled to. So if your child has an IEP plan, I don't care how minor their learning disability is. If it just says learning disability, I don't care if, I don't care how minor it is, because I don't know exactly every category that they have for learning disabilities. I don't know every name, or every label. Maybe I should say label, because it's just them labeling us when it's a real problem. I know that they do try to label us with behavior problems rather than learning problems, okay? And if you can't read or write, or spell, or if you struggle with that, your children is who I'm referring to. And because of that, you lash out in class and you're a class clown. That is really a root issue, especially when they put these kids with these IEP plans in the general population. They often do things that appear like they make it appear like they have a behavior problem, because they are deflecting and they don't want people to look at them different, or pick on them because they have learning problems. They don't learn as fast as everybody else. They can't grasp this information like the other person. They might can't read all that well. You know what I'm saying? They might can't write all that well, spell, a lot of times, because a child has a learning disability, because the system, and when I say the system, the school system doesn't want to acknowledge what the real issue is, they will just label it as a behavior problem rather than trying to get to the root of the problem. When the root of the problem is, I have a learning disability and I don't want anybody to pick on me because of that. I don't want anybody to know. I know this because I've had this experience, okay? And it took me years to realize what was really going on with my son, okay? It wasn't until he was probably in about the second or third grade when it was brought to my attention, like I told you about my oldest child, that he may have a learning disability. And it took for me to take him out of public school and stop listening to what they were saying in the schools, because they were trying to say that it was just behavior, when it was really because I noticed that when I brought him home, he was still doing the same thing, even when it was just me and him and it was like 4 or 5 people in the online classroom. He still subconsciously was ashamed that he wasn't on the level that he needed to be on. When it came to him being able to perform in the classroom. And I noticed that it wasn't just ADHD or, him having a problem with paying attention. It was that he didn't understand what y'all say. I say understand. He didn't understand what was going on. So if you're looking at something and then not only did he not understand, he was afraid to say that. And so as a parent, I had to really Pay attention, what, son?
When Nero came and Jai was scared of the cat.
Okay. I had to really pay attention to what was going on with my son. And it was a very interesting, a very rewarding for me to bring him out of the public school system so I could work with him one-on-one and see what was going on, because they just wanted to say behavior. They did not want to say they did say learning disability, but they're not going to tell you that he has this learning disability. It qualifies as a disability, and you can get some money for that. So there are a lot of parents, and I'm speaking specifically to the low income community. There may be other people as well, but because I am in the low income community, and I have discovered these things, my aim is to reach y'all, because I know that there are a lot of single parents out there who are struggling financially, and who have kids who qualify for a check. And Social Security is not going to tell you. The school system is not going to tell you. It would take for you to go and gain your own knowledge, and the system knows that a lot of the low income community, because I read, but a lot of the low income community, they don't read. They won't follow up and check behind people. They'll just believe what you tell them. And then there are also a lot of people in that community who just don't have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because the people who raised us didn't teach us. And so, you got there's a trickle down effect in the low income community of us not having the proper knowledge to be able to thrive in life. They set us up for failure. Okay. And, they start when we're young. They label your children as having a behavior problem when they don't understand. And I don't care. They have people in the school systems who have PhDs, who have masters, in education and in these subjects, who still don't understand that it's not just a behavior problem. It's more to it. Okay. And so, because I've had that experience and I've actually had to walk through it, I not only want to shed light on my experience, I want to encourage someone, and I also want to make sure that every child who has a learning disability in this world, who has been struggling in school, I want the parents to know that, especially in a low income community, your child qualifies for a check. Okay, a disability check, and you have to apply, and you can use the school records, but just because they're not just going to use the school records, they're going to send you to one of their doctors that they pay, and your child will go in for testing. And when they get in there, they're going to ask them different questions, about, they're going to have them write, they're going to have them try to read stuff and try to do math, and they will be able to see those doctors where the disability is. So if you have a child that has an IEP plan, I don't care what's on that IEP plan. If they are in classes, if they have to leave the general population class and go to classes outside of general population, it may just be one subject. Whatever it is, that child has a learning disability. Okay. And whatever learning disability specifically that is, that child qualifies for disability. And rather than the Social Security and disability keep all of your money that you've paid in, keep all of that money to themselves, and then when you get old enough to retire, if you make it to that age, they give you a hard time to try to get it, or if you're not able to work at some point, they give you a hard time with getting it. I encourage you to apply for disability for your child if they have an IEP plan. Okay. And This is chess, not checkers. Disability Determination Services, Social Security Administration. I want to make sure that y'all understand that there is someone who is standing in the paint for the people. And that person is me. Okay, I've been sent to break these illusions and to shed light on these situations that people just don't talk about. All right, people are afraid to speak up. You know, there are not many people who have the strength that I have. There's no one in the land that has the strength that I have. Okay, that would be able to endure and walk the path that I have walked thus far in my life. Okay, and so I'm not afraid of the government, and they know that they can't do nothing to me. They've been trying to kill me all my life and make it look like an accident. You know, I've had multiple assassination attempts and even have recorded some of them. And they know that. But they know that I'm here standing in the paint for the people. They know that I'm here standing in the paint for God. And they know that I'm here to spread the word and to shed the light on the things that they want to keep a secret. So the cat's out the motherfucking bag. If your child has an IEP plan, I don't care what grade they in. If they in the 9th, 10th, 11th, I don't care if they in high school now. All those school records from when they've been in these, some people will call it slow classes because they learn slower. Whatever y'all want to call it, EC, whatever y'all want to call it. If that child is in those type of classes, the school has records of them being in those type of classes, go apply for the disability. Okay? Go apply for the disability. And let's get their goddamn ass and show them we the people. We matter. Not only do we matter, but we run this shit. And they need to be paying out more than what they paying out, because there are lots of kids out here struggling in school whose parents just don't know that they qualify for disability. So go apply.